Problem solving. Let's find out what it's about. Problem solving is the process of identifying a problem, developing possible solution paths, and taking the appropriate course of action. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. Although problem solving is often identified as its own separate skill, there are other related skills that contribute to this ability. Some key problem solving skills include research. A problem solver needs to be able to identify the cause of the issue and understand it fully. He or she can begin to gather more information about a problem by brainstorming with other team members, consulting more experienced colleagues, or acquiring knowledge through online research or courses. Analysis. The first step in problem solving is to analyze the situation. The analytical skills help us understanding problems and effectively developing solutions and distinguishing between effective and ineffective solutions. Decision making. One of the steps in the process of problem solving requires making a decision. So, decision making is essential in problem solving. Communication. When identifying possible solutions, we need to know how to communicate the problem to others and how to seek assistance. Once we find a solution, communicating it clearly will help reduce any confusion and make implementing a solution easier. Dependability. Dependability is one of the most important skills for problem solvers. Solving problems in a timely manner is essential. Employers highly value individuals they can trust to both identify and then implement solutions as fast and effectively as possible. Creativity. More complex problems or problems that we have not experienced before will likely require a more systematic and logical approach to solve. And for this, we need to use creative thinking. And finally, team working. Many problems are best defined and solved with the input of other people. One way of tackling problems is to use a specific and systematic problem-solving procedure. Following a step-by-step procedure for defining problems, generating solutions, and implementing solutions can make the process of problem-solving seem less overwhelming. So, let's see the 6 steps for an effective problem-solving. Step 1. Identify and define the problem. The first step in solving a problem is understanding what the problem actually is. You need to be sure that you're dealing with a real problem, not its symptoms. Pinpointing a problem at the beginning of the process will guide your research, collaboration, and solutions in the right direction. You have to state the problem as clearly as possible. However, defining a problem doesn't mean deciding how to solve it straight away. It's important to look at this issue from a variety of perspectives. Step 2. Collect information. Collect information about the problem and increase understanding. This step includes observation, careful inspection, fact-finding, and developing a clear picture of the problem. In this point, you have to identify the root cause of the problem, which means finding out possible causes of the problem, even underlying causes, prioritizing possible root cause of the problem, and exploring the information or data that validate the root cause. Step 3. Generate possible solutions. It is now time to start thinking about possible solutions to the identified problem. Brainstorming and team problem solving techniques are both useful tools in these steps of problem solving. Each person in the group should express their views or possible solutions. You have to list all the possible solutions and don't worry about the quality of the solutions at this stage. Try to come up with at least 10 solutions, be creative, and forget about the quality of the solution. If you allow yourself to be creative, you may come up with other solutions that you would not otherwise have thought about. Step 4. Evaluate alternatives and eliminate less desirable or unreasonable solutions. To do so, you have to order the remaining solutions in order of preference and evaluate the remaining solutions in terms of their advantages and disadvantages. In evaluating your alternatives, you should consider the extent to which a particular alternative will solve the problem without causing other anticipated problems, All the individuals involved will accept the alternative, implementation of the alternative is feasible, and the alternative fits within the organizational constraints. Step 5. Decide and implement a solution. This is perhaps the most complex part of the problem-solving process. Following on from the previous step, it is now time to look at each potential solution and carefully analyze it. Some solutions may not be possible due to other problems like time constraints or budget. Once you select a course of action, implement it. Don't forget to specify who will take action and how and when the solution will be implemented. Involving others in the implementation is an effective way to gain buy-in and support and minimize resistance to subsequent changes. Lastly, step 6. Evaluate the outcome. This can be achieved by monitoring and gaining feedback from people affected by any changes that occurred. So, after implementing a solution, don't forget to evaluate how effective it was and decide whether the existing plan needs to be revised or whether a new plan is needed to better address the problem. If you are not pleased with the outcome, return to step 3 to select a new solution or revise the existing solution and repeat the remaining steps. Now, it's time to find your favorite problem-solving technique. First, the 5 whys technique. The 5 whys technique can be used to identify the root causes of a problem so that the problem happens less often. You can use this technique to help determine the reason the problem exists by asking why certain things that have occurred. What is the problem? Why did the problem occur? Why did the reason in question 2 happen? Why did the reason in question 3 happen? Why did the reason in question 4 happen? Here is an example. A client is having a complaint with our company. Let's find the root cause for this problem. Why? We didn't complete the project on time. Why? The necessary resources were not available to the project. Why? It took too long to order and organize the necessary resources. Why? There was a delay in hiring a project manager due to lack of information on the job position. Why? Root cause. There is no formal process for submitting job postings regarding project managers. The plan, do, check, act technique. The PDCA technique is focused on continuous improvement rather than solving a problem after it has happened. This technique anticipates how a situation or process can be improved so that problems can be avoided. Here are the 4 steps. First, plan. Identify a situation that needs to be improved. Then, do. Develop an action plan to address. Third, check. Study the result of carrying out the action plan. What did you learn? Were improvements made? And finally, act. Make the decision. If the action plan was successful, use it to plan future improvements. If it was not, repeat the cycle and develop a new approach. The 6 thinking hats. 6 thinking hats is a classic method for identifying the problem that need to be solved and enables person to consider them from different angles, whether that is by focusing on facts and data, creative solutions, or by considering why a particular solution might not work. Each thinking hat represents one style of thinking. Try wearing different hats and look at the decision through each. Here's what each hat is about. White hat. This hat represents the facts and information about the problem. Questions in this part can be: what is the available information and what are the facts we have? Red hat is about emotions and feelings. The red hat does not aim to understand the reason behind these feelings. We can ask questions like: what do you feel about this suggestion? And what is your gut reaction? Black hat. It represents looking at the downside. This part aims to identify the consequences of the proposal and the disadvantages, and why the idea may not work based on logical reasons. During this discussion, the question can be asked is: what are the risks and why is the suggestion not working? Yellow hat is about positivity. In contrast to the black hat, the yellow hat supposes to reflect the sun of an optimistic attitude. During this, the questions are: what are the advantages of applying the solution, and why do you think it is workable? Green hat. It represents creativity and new ideas. During the critical thinking discussion, this hat fuels a person's thinking to innovate a creative thinking solution for the problems or look to the suggestion from a creative perspective. Contributing new ideas and options is crucial, which is why everyone should wear this hat, the green one. Finally, the blue hat is for controlling the process. Especially in meetings, it's good to be able to step in when there is no progress and enable the group to move forward. For example, by shifting the thinking or discussion to a different hat perspective. Another technique is nominal group technique. The nominal group technique is a tool similar to brainstorming where you collaborate with colleagues to determine ideas for a project or to describe solutions to a problem. This tool can work effectively for large groups who might have conflicting ideas or when a solution is best made using a democratic approach. To use this technique, start by stating the initial problem or question. Next, each participant compiles a list of solutions by themselves and presents their best solution for everyone else to discuss and consider. Based on how each individual votes on other solutions, everyone collectively decides on which one to implement. Now, let's check out some more tips to improve problem solving. Whether you are searching for a job or currently working, improving your problem solving skills and associate abilities will help you being a strong candidate and employee. Apart from the before mentioned techniques, here are some more practical tips to remember in order to further enhance your problem solving skills. First, acquire more technical knowledge in your field. Depending on your field of expertise, it may be easier to solve problems if you have strong working technical knowledge. You can get more technical knowledge through additional coursework, training, or practice. Seek out opportunities to problem solve. By putting yourself into new situations, you are more likely to be exposed to opportunities to problem solve. You may find there are opportunities to volunteer for new projects in your current role, on another team, or outside the workplace for another organization. Practice role playing. You can work on several life problem solving scenarios. For example, a scenario like how would you handle an angry customer? Practicing how you might handle such a scenario can help you call upon solutions quickly when they arise on a job. And finally, observe how others problem solve. You may have colleagues who are skilled problem solvers. Observing how those colleagues solve problems will help you improve your own skills. Asking relevant questions can be helpful in applying them in your own job. And don't forget, every problem has a solution. You just have to be creative enough to find it.